Thanks for coming back. This is part 7 of how to play the trumpet. We're going to first talk about the fingering chart and what it means and how that works with your trumpet. And then we're going to get into playing some notes. So this is page 46 and 47 in your book. That's known as the fingering chart. And you'll see right there at the top there's a picture of a trumpet. And it's showing you which valves are valves 1, 2, and 3. And it shows you which fingers to use. It says index finger on 1. And middle finger on 2, and ring finger on 3. And we kind of talked about it, and I'll show you that again when we get to the trumpet. So this is page 47. You'll see here, this is a fingering chart, and so what you'll see is, for example, this note here is an E. And it tells you above the note, the name of the note, so it's an E. You see that the E is on the first line of the staff, and then down here it has a 1 and a 2. So that's referring to the valves. If it has 1 and 2, that means you push both your first valve and your second valve at the same time to play that E. The next note is an F, and it's on the first space, so it's up just a little bit from the E on the first space, and it just has a 1. That means you just use your first valve. Okay, and then the next note we're going to learn is actually this one over here. It's called a G, and you see again it's on that second line. Remember the G clef? G, so there's the G, and it says 0, so that means you don't push any valves to play that note. It's just played by not pushing any valves and buzzing. So that is how you play the G. So looking at page 6, as we've talked about, you'll see that all those boxes at the top of the page, and then up here you see the yellow box, and it shows you that E, that F, and that G, those 3 notes to play. So as we're playing this whole page and also all of page 7, you'll know that there's only those 3 notes on these 2 pages. So you just got to remember the 3 things about each note. The name of the note, where it's at on the staff, and what valves to push. So when you play, like for example the E, and we talked about your first valve and your second valve, you push both of those, holding the instrument correctly, bringing it the right spot in your mouth, and then buzzing correctly. Couple things. You always push the buttons first and get it set and play. Okay, or get it set, push them, and then play. Okay, we're not going to try and play and push at the same time. It's not like a video game where you have to push the button when you want it to happen. You can push these all you want, right? So get it ready first, and then put it on there and buzz. Okay, and so it should sound like this. That E will sound like this. Okay, now you'll notice that if I loosen my lips while I'm still pushing that 1 and 2, it'll actually play a different note. Okay, and if I tighten my lips, it can still play other notes. So how do you know which one is the right one? Well, a combination of listening and feeling and knowing how it feels when you play that note. And so just know that the E is this note. And if you're not getting that note, maybe you're probably often the kids will play the lower one, which is actually called an A. So if you're getting that one but not the other one, tighten the corners, tighten your lips until it flips up to that next note. Okay, till you get that note. So that's why this is a good practice to go. Because if you can do that, then you can do this. You can buzz those lips and get it tighter to get to the right pitch. Okay, so if you're not getting that right pitch, the higher the E, practice the mouthpiece buzzing, practice buzzing up and down some more, and then try it again. Okay? So that's the E. Now on exercise number 1, you'll notice that we have that E, we have that 4/4. We talked about all those things. And you have a whole note. Now the whole note says it receives 4 beats in 4/4 time. So if this is the tempo, or the beats, right, you play 4 of those on that E. Ta, 4 whole beats. So you have to count that in your head while you're playing it. You got to think 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to think that in your head. Okay. And then the next thing on exercise number 1 is a rest. and it's a whole rest, and it gets 4 counts of 4 times. But so where a note is playing sound for 4 counts, a rest is playing silence for 4 counts. So you still got to count in your head, and you got to know where we're at, so that you're ready to play the next note. Okay, so you get set like this. I'm going to turn my chair so that I'm looking at my music. You got to look at your music as you play it so you know where you are, otherwise you're going to get lost. And each note that you're playing, you look at as you play it, and then I look at the rest as we're there, and I look at the note as I'm playing the next note. So let's try exercise number 1. You play each note for 4 counts. Remember at the beginning of the note. Okay? And we'll see how it goes. Here we go. Ready? Exercise number 1. 1, 2, here we go. Rest, 2, 3. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. And that's the end, because there's a double bar there at the end. Now, how many notes do we play? How do we know what to play? Because on exercise number 1, it shows you how many notes to play, and you just play each one, and then play the rest, and then play the next note, and the rest, and so forth, until you get to the double bar, which is the end. Number 2, exercise number 2 goes to that F. Talked about that being just the first valve. Now again, when you're playing just the first valve, these other fingers are just going to rest on the valves. You're not going to push it. You're just going to rest there, so they're ready to go, keeping your hand curled. Okay. And the F's is just because the F is just a little bit higher on the staff, it's going to be a little bit higher in pitch. The higher it goes on the staff, the higher in pitch it's going to be. So the F sounds like this. Okay, so let's look at exercise number 2, and let's play it now. You got to watch those notes and rest, because it's not the same as number 1. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, number 2. Here we go. 1, 2. Look at the notes as you play them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and that's the end because of the double bar. So exercise 2 only had 3 whole notes and 3 whole rests. Okay, so you got to follow along. Exercise number 3 has both notes. So you're going to push the button for the E, starts on an E, you're going to play the E, and in the rest you're going to switch to the F, get ready to play that one, and then play the F, and so forth throughout the exercise. Let's try it, number 3. And if you get lost, or then just go back in the video and do it again. You can do these 20 times each exercise if you want, that's fine. And then also, if you forget what fingering to push, just look at the top there of the page. Don't write in fingerings and don't write in note names. Okay, just remember. And if you can't remember, maybe make yourself some flashcards and work towards remembering and memorizing those notes. Okay, there's only 3 to remember on this first 2 pages, so memorize them. Okay, here we go. Number 3. 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. They go. Get ready for the E. 1, 2, and that's the end. So you notice we changed notes. We went from the E to the F, and F back to the E. So you got to look at the notes. It tells you what to play. Just like you're reading a book, and the words tell you what's going on, these notes tell you what's going on. Number 4 is a new note. It's a G. It's the 3rd note. Again, there are only 3 notes on this page. And the G is open, and it sounds like this. Now again, I'm still going to hold my trumpet with my hands up there. I'm just not going to push any of the valves down. Okay? Now again, you might be getting this note. That's the C, which we haven't learned yet. So you can tighten your lips a little bit and get up to that G. Okay? If you're too high, maybe you're playing this note. You're going to loosen your lips to get back down to the G. Okay? So let's play number 4. Well, I said on number 4 it says watch those rests, because there's something a little different in this one. So make sure you're following along in your music. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, don't forget to breathe, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Another rest. 2, 3, 4. And that's the end, because the double bar ends that section. Okay? The number 5 is going to have all 3 notes that we've learned. Okay? All 3 notes. Let's try it. 1, 2, number 5. Here we go. Rest. 2, switch your fingers and go. 1, 2, get ready for the next note. Go. 1, 2, the next note. Go. 1, 2, our last note. Here we go. Cool. Notice I'm counting as I go. We won't normally count when we play. We'll do that in our head. I'm just counting to help you. But you do want to feel that beat throughout the exercise. So it's ta, the beat's going the whole time, then it's rest. Beat's still going, we're just rest. Da, and so forth throughout the whole exercise. Okay, that beat's always going. Okay, so number 6 has something new. Again, not a new note, but we're doing 2 notes, one right after another. There's no rest in between the notes. So I have a whole note, and then another whole note, and then a whole rest. So the trick is that you already know how to do this, because we've been doing, right? Remember when we did, right? With that, same thing. The only difference is we're just holding it for 4 counts before we do the second one, right? So, okay, so you just hold it out as you play that. So let's try number 6. Actually, let's just do the first 2 measures. It'd go like this. 1, 2, here it goes. So the airflow went the entire 8 counts. I just interrupted it really quick at the beginning of the 5th count, or count 1 again. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So the beginning of the second beat 1, we interrupted that sound with the air with my tongue, but I didn't stop blowing. I didn't blow. I didn't go. Sorry. I didn't stop and breathe and blow again. Nor did I just use my air. Right? I used that sound. Okay? So that's how that goes. Let's try number 6. 1, 2, here we go. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Get your finger ready. Switch your fingers. Here we go. Okay? So as you play these exercises, you might stop the video and play it 6 more times until you feel like you can get it. And that's fine. Just keep trying to keep a steady beat. Keep trying to make sound at the beginning of each note. Stop the note by just stop blowing air. Count through the rests. And make sure you're working through all of those things. If there's something there that you're not getting, you're confused about, put a comment in the video, or send me an email, or ask me in class, and we'll make sure you understand how to do those things. Review this video or any of the previous videos as many times as you want, so that you can understand all these concepts. Okay. Join me for our next video, where we'll finish up this beginning series of how to play the trumpet.